So Education 4.0 is considering the learner at the center, followed by all the stakeholders. So we have to take care that all stakeholders are involved for the growth of a learner. Then some of the important points for Education 4.0, that what it requires is a knowledge of the degree discipline like in school or the colleges. Then practical and psychomotor skills are also required. It also required interpersonal skills and social responsibility. Ethics and professionalism is required. Communication and leadership skills are required. Analytical and critical thinking skills are required. Lifelong learning and information management is required. And lastly, the management skills and entrepreneurial characteristics are required. So if we can inculcate all these skills from the childhood, specifically from middle school to high school levels, it will become easier for the teachers at like us at the graduate level to impart those skills, because you have already imparted the basic fundamental of those skills during the school education. And that's why the role of a school teacher is very important for the implementation of Education 4.0. The main 9 trends which are will be there in Education 4.0 is diverse time and place. You can learn the education at any place, anytime. Personalized learning, you don't require a classroom learning, you can go with a personalized learning. Free choice of subjects elective. The learning will be project based. It will be applied experiential learning. Data interpretation will be required. Type of examination patterns will change completely. The ownership of students will change. And instead of only teaching, now the role of mentor for the teachers will become more important. Instead of teacher, he will be a mentor. Now, most important thing in Education 4.0 is the technologies of Industry Revolution 4.0. And one of the important technologies which is mentioned in this slide, that is augmented and virtual reality. As shown in these figures, this AR and VR is going to change the future. And we are focusing on the practical conduction of school subject practicals through AR and VR. Recently, as I mentioned in my inaugural address, the Reliance Jio has launched Jio Glass, which will change the school level education, and it will help you to teach your students through augmented and virtual reality. At the same time, massive open online courses from Coursera, Stanford University, edX from Harvard University, Khan Academy, Indian MOOC, NPTEL courses, SWAYAM courses from IIT, this will become popular, and this will help for personalized learning at any place. The main challenges and opportunities for Education 4.0 is to change the mindset of teachers and students. Unless and until we are not ready to change ourselves, to adapt ourselves, to modify ourselves for the need of Industry Revolution 4.0, we cannot enter in the era of Education 4.0. The very first important challenge is this. Then we also need ICT enabled infrastructure in school and colleges to use those technologies for implementation of Education 4.0. One other important thing is challenge is connecting industry for a project based learning. At a school and college level, we have to connect with the NGOs and industry and local organization for a project based learning. But that will also create an opportunity of skill development and job for our students. Then for teachers, we need upgradation of the qualification as well as upgradation of skill. That is also one of the important challenge. And if we upgrade our skill, then we will get much benefit, and that will be a bigger opportunities for us. At the same time, for all these things, it required a financial investment for management. And most important thing is that for any teacher or student to remain in the era of Education 4.0, lifelong learning should be a part of his life. We have to regularly learn, relearn, and unlearn. So ultimately what we need In the era of education 4.0, we need a faculty which is called faculty 4.0. So what we need for faculty 4.0, we have to invest in the faculty training. The colleges and schools have to invest in the faculty training for developing the mindset and the teaching pedagogy. Then we have to develop the programs to support digital literacy skill of the faculty members. We have to involve new innovative teaching techniques which will support to the education and industry revolution 4.0. We have to train the faculty members of schools and colleges for adopting new skills which I have mentioned as a sunrise or disruptive technologies for the industry 4.0. We have to develop learning analytic solution and to motivate faculty member also for lifelong learning. If we could be able at a school or college management level, or at the same time we cannot be dependent on the management. As a teacher, if we take initiative and if we follow this path, then we can definitely become a faculty 4.0. At the same time, we required to change our infrastructure. Infrastructure 4.0 should be a technology driven strategy. We have to develop learning centers in campus, off campus. Our campus should be modern, high performance network with the Wi-Fi facility. We must provide all facilities required for online teaching learning, and at the same time, if we can provide a recording studio for faculty and students, it will help us to implement all the technologies and ICT tools in education. Ultimately, what is education 4.0? This is a common slide which I shown, but it is a very best slide pictorially which depicts about education 4.0. It is anywhere, anytime, at a personalized level with the flexibility of delivery, and there is no concept of student and teacher. It is a concept of peer and mentors. Then there will be practical applications of the technologies. There will be project based and blended learning. There will be ownership of student, and the learners or student will be evaluated. They will not be examined. So ultimately, what is said by this author is true. Your education today is your economy tomorrow. So that comes to the end of the first session on education 4.0. The second session on education 4.0, challenges and opportunity. If you have any queries related to this, you can mail me at the above mentioned mail ID. Thank you very much.